Hello and a warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here, and today we'll be dealing with the second part of the video, most important current affairs of the week. So in the first part, we talked about the global north and global south. And we saw what are the economic implications, how India can emerge as a leader, and what is the way forward, especially for India, to emerge as a leader of the global south and all inclusive development of the global south. The two main goals right now, or the two main parts where you should focus, are the economy and environment. And this is because of COP27, where a loss and damage fund was signed, and COP28. And this is because of the COVID, effects of which are still visible, and the ongoing Ukraine crisis. All right. So let us now move to the next part. The news is that Shantiniketan becomes India's 41st World Heritage Site. So what is this Shantiniketan? So it's a town located in the West Bengal. Where? In the Birbhum district. Whenever there is a site or a place mentioned, always remember and know where it is located. So it is related to Rabindranath Tagore. We'll see how. For now, you need to remember that it is India's 41st World Heritage Site. So this is the news here. Alright. So all efforts to have Shantiniketan recognized as UNESCO WHS World Heritage Site. So the efforts had been ongoing since 2010, and now it has been recognized after 13 years in 2023. So let's see why it is so well known and what is the reason behind selecting it. So it was established in 1862 by Rabindranath Tagore's father. Who was the father? He was Rabindranath Tagore. So recently a question came in mains GS1 about the educative ideas between Rabindranath Tagore and Gandhi. This also came in newspaper earlier as an article. So we need to see this news. This is why it's also important. So Rabindranath Tagore in 1862 built this Shantiniketan, and it meant a adobe of peace. Alright. This area, earlier it was called Bhubadanga, and it was renamed as Shantiniketan due to its conducive environment for meditation. Further on, in 1901, Rabindranath Tagore, he chose a significant portion of this land and established a school based on the Brahmachara Ashram model, and it later developed into Vijayawada University. So this could be mentioned there in the answer. Now, when we talk about the UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it is proposed by the Ministry of Culture. This is also important. Alright, and why it has been selected? Because of the human values, architecture, arts, town planning, and landscape design. Also, this site has been preserved by the ASI. It is preserved as well as restored. Let's now talk about the Rabindranath Tagore, because more than this news, he is important. Just a second. Coming to Rabindranath Tagore now. This is his picture. He was born on May 7. These dates you don't need to remember, just the year you remember. 1861. And what's more important actually is to have a chronological data in your mind, such as when Gandhi was born. And in reference to Gandhi, you can put Nehru, Bose, Tagore, Bhagat Singh, all the other people around. Alright, so this will give you a chronological data of their ages and their work, so on. Alright, so he was born on May 7, 1861 in Calcutta, India, into a prominent Bengali family, and he was youngest of 13 children. So Tagore was a polymath and excelled in various fields. He was not only a poet, but a philosopher, musician, and he had various different talents. But the most famous of his achievements is his Nobel Prize of 1913, 2 years before Gandhi returned to India. And he became the first Asian to be awarded Nobel Prize in Literature. This is important. Alright. And it was for his book, Gitanjali, an offering of songs. So this you remember. Alright. He was also given a knighthood for services to literature. And who gave him knighthood? He was given knighthood by King George V in 1915. So he renounced this, his knighthood, after 1919. And why? What was the trigger point? It was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So these are some information you need to remember. Also, he is known for composition of the national anthems. So he wrote Jana Gana Mana. It is the national anthem of India. And Amar Shonar Bangla. This is of Bangladesh. His literary works. So he wrote many things because he was a literature expert. So some of his notable works are The Home and the World, Gora, Gitanjali, Ghare Baire, as well as Manasi, Balak, Sonar Tori, and Kabuliwala. Kabuliwala is very famous. It is taught in the English medium schools across the country, 6th, 7th class. He was also an avid social reformer. This all information you could use in the answer. So he promoted ideas of unity, harmony, and tolerance, as can be seen from the national anthem. And he criticized British rule. Do not think that because of the Nobel Prize and the knighthood, he did not criticize the British rule. He did actually. And he also worked for the Indian independence. Alright, when we see his philosophy or his philosophical ideas, then his philosophy emphasized the importance of humanism. But he was more devoted towards the spirituality. You must also see the contrast and the similarity between him and Swami Vivekananda. Alright. His literary start was marked by his lyrical and philosophical qualities, and exploring themes were love, nature, and spirituality. After his death was in 1941. So he died before he could see India independent on August 7. Alright. One more thing we must say about the World Heritage Site, which has been given to Shantiniketan here. That what are the UNESCO World Heritage Sites? So they are a place listed by UNESCO, and it should have some sort of culture or physical significance. Alright, the list of World Heritage Site is maintained by the International World Heritage Program, WHP, and it is organized or administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. Alright, now from where did this all come, World Heritage Site and all? So this was an international treaty which was signed in 1972 in order to preserve such sites, and the treaty was known as Convention Concerning the Protection of World Culture and Natural Heritage. Protection of World Culture and Natural Heritage. Alright, let us along with see the Indian sites. There are 41 sites now. Just a second. So when we see the map of India and related with the UNESCO's categorization, UNESCO tries to protect two things. One is culture Second is natural heritage, that means nature. Now culture can have various things, but mostly architecture or some sort of paintings or such things. All right, so let us classify according to that only. Okay, so when we come to the northeast, here we see the Assam. So Assam has Kaziranga National Park. Then there is Manas Wildlife Sanctuary. All right, this Sikkim has this Kanchenjunga National Park. Let us now move towards the West Bengal, where we see the Sundarban National Park. This is also a nature's miracle, you can say. Just a second, let me decrease the width of the pen. All right. When we move down towards Odisha, toward the Sun Temple in Konark, it's an architectural marvel. Then we move further towards Telangana, Kakatiya Rudrashwaram Ramappa Temple in Telangana. Move towards Andhra Pradesh and then Tamil Nadu. Then there is a group of monuments at Mahabalipuram and Great Living Chola temples. This is very important. All right, there is Mountain Railways of India, Darjeeling Himalaya Railway West Line. So these are some mountain railways. Altogether, they can be put into the World Heritage Sites. All right, Darjeeling is in Sikkim. Nilgiri Mountain Railways is in Tamil Nadu, and one is Kalka Shimla Rimal Railway. It is in Himachal Pradesh. Just a second. Here you can see it. When you move this side towards the, just a second. All right, I hope now you can see. Okay, when you move towards the northern side, then there is Great Himalayan National Park and Conservation Area. So it's located here. All right, there is Nanda Devi Valley of Flowers National Park. This is in here, Himachal Pradesh. Archaeological site of Nalanda, Mahavira and Nalanda, Bihar. So here we come to the Bihar site, this site. And Mahabodhi Temple complex at Bodh Gaya. This is also in Bihar. So these are related to the Buddhism. This is part of the culture. All right, when we move towards Rajasthan, it has 6 sites. So the archaeological work is Croibisar, and this is actually in the Uttarakhand here. Kevaladev National Park, this is in Rajasthan. And the Jantar Mantar of Jaipur, this is in Rajasthan. It was made by Sabai Jai Singh too, sorry. Hill forts of Rajasthan, then there is Jaisalmer Fort, Chittorgarh Fort, Kumbhalgarh Fort. Kumbhalgarh Fort was constructed by Maharana Kumbha, and it's a long fort on a mountain. Then there is Gagron Fort, there is Ranthambore Fort and Amber Fort of Jaipur. Then there is Dholvira Harappan city in Gujarat. This is related to the archaeological site of Indus Valley civilization. There is Rani Ki Bav, the Queen Step Well in Gujarat. Alright, then there is the historic city of Ahmedabad. When we come towards Maharashtra, then there is Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, Victorian Gothic and Art Deco assemblies of Mumbai, and Elephanta Caves. Elephanta Caves are very important. Alright, then there is Ellora Caves and Ajanta Caves. There are some sites in the central India as well. We will see them. In the Goa, there are churches and convents of Goa. They depict a cultural, histocultural part. There is a group of monuments at Pattadakal, group of monuments at Hampi. Hampi was Vijayanagar's capital. A question came in prelims, Nunets. Then there are Western Ghats. They are an altogether World Heritage Site. When we go towards the central India, we see Fatehpur Sikri, Taj Mahal. This was during the Mughal period. Then there is Pavagadh Archaeological Park. This is in Gujarat. When you move towards the Madhya Pradesh, there is Buddhist Stoop at Sanchi and Khajuraho group of monuments. So these are Hindu temples. These are Buddhist temples. Then there is a rock shelter of Bhimbetka. These are Bhimbetka caves basically. Alright, archaeological sites. And in Maharashtra, we have already seen the Ajanta and Ellora caves. So these are the most important cultural and architectural feature of India. What happens sometimes, it may not be directly asked to you that name the most important cultural and feature part of India or name the World Heritage Sites of India. It may be asked indirectly, let's say, tell some cultural parts of India or natural conservation part of India. So these are the sites that you need to name. Alright, let me just reset this. So let's come to the next news now. Just a second. Okay, so the news is that recently the Union Minister for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship launched Skill India Digital. So when you talk about the Skill India, now the digital one is launched. Okay, the main objectives is Kaushal Bharat, Kushal Bharat. That means Skill India means Skilled India. So basically skill development is the objective here. Just a second. Alright, so this comprehensive digital platform aspires to provide every Indian. So focus is on every, alright. The quality skill development, relevant opportunities and entrepreneurial support. So what is Skill India Digital? Okay, so Skill India Digital is envisioned as the digital public infrastructure. It is a DPI. So these are the terms that you need to remember and mention in your answers. That digital public infrastructure. So it is a sort of infra, and the objective is skilling, education, employment and entrepreneurship in India. So basically what's happening here is that India is a country, just adjust to the map. So the population is getting high. Okay. Jobs are of two types, either they are government jobs or are private jobs of some sort or are personal jobs, personal business or some sort of personal business, let's say. Alright, so most of the people are employed in this, then lesser in this and the least in this one. Alright, government manages all three by rules and regulations, but mostly these two or mostly this one. Alright, and a government wants that people do things on their own. Alright, regulate their own economy. So in a personal economy, what we need is skill. Okay, as the skill increases, people are absorbed from one strata to the other. And they get paid higher and live a better life. Okay, so what we are developing here is basically skills. And skill along with education will lead to employment generation. Furthermore, with the sector of entrepreneurship, where Indian people developed skills enough to provide services. These are the goods which can be exported, which can attract money into India, which can attract foreign money into India, as well as they don't actually need to be exported, they are just services simply, such as software services. So they don't have a physical manifestation which needs to be exported via ships or anything. They are not merchandise goods, they are service goods. Alright, so if we become more skilled with good education, then we can export more services eventually and attract more money, which will make our economy better despite the population rise. Alright, so it aims to bring together the various skilling initiatives and create a seamless ecosystem for skill development aligned with the principle of G20 for building DPI. So this has been discussed in the G20, and digital public infrastructure is a main theme here, which is DPI. Alright. Now core features of SID, what are the core features here? So comprehensive skill development is the one core feature. One more thing is digital transformation. So Industry 4.0. This is a new thing, new term here. So with a focus on digital technology and Industry 4.0 skills. So we'll see about this. What is this Industry 4.0 skills? SID seeks to make skill development more innovative, accessible and personalized. Furthermore, it will serve as an informational gateway. So information will be relied for all sort of skill development as well as for government skilling and entrepreneurship activities. Alright, so then interaction will be increased between the government and the people. Furthermore, intersection of Skill India and Digital India. So Skill India Digital, that means one is Digital India and one is Skill India. So it will bring the Skill India to the digital platform. Alright, one more thing. What are the key elements? One is Aadhaar AI based facial authentication. So AI is slowly coming into the governance and Aadhaar based facial authentication. Second, more digital verifiable credentials. All right, so just as DigiLocker, these will be there. Another thing is AI and ML recommendations. So AI will be there. And interoperability. That means promoting the integration of government training program. One more thing that is changing now is Skill India Digital has introduced digitally verified credentials. Digitally verified credentials. So it revolutionizes how qualifications are exhibited and recognized. That means whatever your qualifications are, degree or any skills. So if you have done them through this digital Skill India Digital, sorry. So if you have done through this or passed any course through this, it will be digitally exhibited and recognized. So it is possible that you rise in a list or your skills are let's say displayed against your name. All right, or AI will also put you above. So whatever it is, it will also be, this platform will also be contacted by private companies furthermore, and people will be hired as per their higher skills. So this is a very good thing. I mentioned a term here, Industry 4.0. So let's quickly see what is that. So Industry 4.0 is basically Industrial Revolution 4.0. So this is an initiative of World Economic Forum. And already few countries have some centers for this Industrial Revolution 4.0, such as US, Japan, China, and India. So India is having a center now for Industrial Revolution 4.0. One thing that we need to know, that 3 revolutions have already happened, and the revolutions means they changed the world in a specific way, a specific manner. So some of the examples from the first industrial revolution are, let's say, steam engine, or spinning jenny, cotton gin, telegraph, cement, modern roads, all right, power loom. So these are some things from the first industrial revolution. You can make notes about the second and third industrial revolution and what are their examples and what can be way forward for the fourth industrial revolution in India. So this can be a topic for your study. All right. So fourth industrial revolution, let's say it will have AI, first of all, 3D printing, automatic vehicles, all right, or let's say the big data analytics, supercomputers, many things will be there, quantum computers. A question came from here also, CUET. So these are the things that you need to read and how India can prosper into this. You can connect it further with the Global South lecture. Use this Industrial Revolution 4.0 with that and mention the Skill India Digital in the same answer. So this is how you can converge answer, converge lectures and converge information. It is also not very certain that I try to or I am able to convey 100% of the information that is needed for you to, let's say, write an answer. But what happens here is that if you merge the lectures, if you take information from all the lectures, if you pick out some important terms and make notes about them or make mind maps about them, eventually you will have enough data to write all the answers in the mains, whether it is GS 1, 2, 3 or whatever. So today read about Rabindranath Tagore, read about Vivekanand, read about Gandhi. All right, these 3 people you cover, and as well as read about this Skill India. Make your notes. We'll see in next lecture some different things. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Keep studying. Be bright. I'll see you in the next lecture.